Yes, good morning. So this is a group of MPs and it is their job to look at our money, taxpayers' money, how it's allocated, where it's spent and whether it's being well managed. And they found some big problems. Yes, good morning. We've talked a lot about it on this programme. Millions of taxpayers have been missing out on COVID crisis support. A quick reminder of what is on offer. The key measure is the furlough scheme, where the government pays 80% of the wages of employees. That's now been extended until the end of April. There's also that similar scheme for the self-employed that gives grants of up to £7,500 for 3 months. Now, between those two schemes, they've paid out almost £60 billion. There are separate loans for businesses and there's universal credit on offer for those without savings. Now, the government in all has put £80 billion into direct support for individuals and businesses, but there have to be limits. The Chancellor said that from the start, and that's meant that some taxpayers have been left out. It's estimated that around 3 million people are ineligible for government help. They are the so-called excluded. And this report from MPs highlights the plight of one group of workers in particular. Now, they are PAYE freelancers. These are workers who provide a service to one or a small number of companies. And instead of managing their own accounts, they're told by the company to go on their books and pay tax that way. But they're not employees. So often they don't get the traditional benefits like holiday pay. And it's meant that they've missed out on furlough. We spoke with Louise. She's a freelancer. She's a TV technician. And also to Jo, who works in teacher training. They both get taxed at source. They've both missed out on support.
We were told as a team by the people that we were doing the majority of our work for at the time of the lockdown that we were not eligible for furlough. I had to take 6 months of mortgage holidays and I had to defer my loan payments on my car and on my credit card. This does not make them go away, it just makes the debt grow larger.
I always feel guilty for saying that I'm one of the people that is suffering because actually, you know, I still have a roof over my head and I can just about put food on my table, but it's not easy. And actually, the next 12 months are going to be even worse than the 12 months just gone, because while the last 12 months I've had this pot to kind of as a buffer, the next 12 months I'm going to be paying that buffer back.
For so many people, that buffer is fast disappearing. So what happens now? Well, the tax office has been given 6 weeks to explain why freelancers and others have been excluded and to set out ways to, quote, overcome these obstacles. It doesn't mean that the millions who've been left out will get that support automatically or given back pay, but it does offer some hope of change. It's been described as a lifeline by some of the newspapers this morning. HMRC told us, look, we have delivered these schemes at an unprecedented speed, and they're absolutely right. You know, £60 billion of support. It's saved lots of businesses, it's supported loads of families. But this report also says that the pressures over COVID have exposed wider problems at HMRC, so outdated IT systems, and inability to keep a close eye on fraud. But the most important thing from this report will be those 3 million people. Many of them will be watching and thinking maybe, just maybe, this means we'll get some of the pay we're entitled to.
Yeah, I'm sure people will be watching that really closely. Nina, thank you very much.